So today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and I gotta say, I have a dream that the next couple MCU or DCEU films that come out are just good, are just enjoyable, and makes me want to just feel like a kid again, playing with my action figures. But I don't know if we're gonna get that, but I really hope we do. So, in celebration for MLK Day, I figured I would discuss some brothers that I know are supposed to be bringing coming up to the big screen soon, and just my thoughts on how exactly they'll turn out. I mean, I hope they turn out good. That's what I want. I want them to be good. I do not want them to suck, because if they suck, it's just, I mean, man, they're just gonna be so bad. It's like, I mean, there's no way to really say it. They will be bad. But so first on the list, I'm gonna bring out my boy, the brother from another mother, from another vampire, Blade. Originally played by Wesley Snipes in the 90s, and he had his two sequels. And granted, he did fight Dracula at the very end of everything. I mean, the third movie did not do very well. I was definitely a fan of the second. The second one was cool when they had the mouths splitting open and shit, and that was cool. But yeah, the third one was a little rough, and having the guy from Prison Break as Dracula, and then Ryan Reynolds in it, and fucking Jessica Biel in it. It was just like, what? Like, all of a sudden, all these random upcoming B-list, A-list actors are just like, it was just too much. It became full of itself. If anything, I know that Blade was one of the original DC, or one of the original superhero movies, but I would honestly say that if it wasn't for Ryan Reynolds being put into the movie, maybe we wouldn't have got, like, Green Lantern or Deadpool or anything that he was a part of, because he really, that I would, I guess, say that Blade Trinity was like the true start of the superhero fandom, because it was like, completely away from the original Blade, which was just a dark, gritty movie about a man killing vampires who happen to be half vampire, whereas Trinity became, he's a superhero in a sense, or like an anti-hero who's now fighting this big bad villain who happens to be one of the most proclaimed vampires. I mean, there's a lot of nonsense. But so anyway, I am a big fan of Blade, and when Marvel announced that they were going to be remaking it, of course I was very skeptical, and I was like, what nah. I was very nervous, very not really liking where that was going. The fact that they would try to reboot it without Wesley Snipes, because he's not dead. He can definitely reprise the role if you wanted to, just de-age him a little bit. But when they showed that this Mahershala Ali was gonna play him, I was just like, man, I just don't feel like he has the grit. I feel like he doesn't have the build, the sturdiness as my boy Wesley Snipes did for the original Blades. It's just, and they haven't had any, like, other stills, any production photos. I don't even think it started filming yet, so they haven't had anything to show besides the picture of him as Blade, which, just from looking at it, it's like, well, I guess it looks cool, quote unquote, cosplay status, but at the same time, it's like, time will only tell. And I just hope that they don't try to make him, like, act like Wesley Snipes. Like, hopefully he makes Blade his own, but it's like, to make, like, him be like a overly black Blade, I hope they just don't go down that route, like, what they did with Batwoman. But I don't, and I don't think he's gonna be like, I don't know, homosexual or anything, but I'm just saying, I think that it will be very telling how Disney and Marvel go about putting together this Blade movie. And I think it's a movie, so it's definitely not going to be like some show, thankfully. It'll just be a film. But, I don't know. The Morbius movie, I feel like, I'm not that into vampires, so I don't know if I'm gonna really. I don't know if I'll watch it. Of course, when it comes out, I'll probably wait a while, but I don't know if I'm gonna be all like, oh yeah, I'm ready for the vampire universe. I mean, I always will be a fan of Blade, but if they mess it up, I ain't gonna give no remorse. I will totally shit all over that movie if they ruin it. But that's because I love the original. So Disney, Marvel, just watch your footing. Just watch your footing.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
Then, of course, we got Spawn, right? Spawn has been in production for like ever, apparently, and I don't think they filmed anything either. But Jamie Foxx is attached to the role, and granted that he got to shine in that Power power movie. I forgot what it was called, where he's got like a pill and gives everybody superpowers. I mean, that movie was pretty cool. And at the end, he did like become like a supernova. So I was like, all right, like he probably has he's probably got what it takes to play Spawn. But I just, again, hope that they don't make it too ridiculous or put too many like black innuendos or make him try to like take down white supremacy or some ridiculous nonsense that Spawn never would have cared about. All right. He's a demon. He can just freaking kill everybody if he wanted. There's no reason to like add in all this BLM nonsense or like racist shit that like doesn't need to be in it. The original Spawn was fantastic without it. Didn't have anything like that. So I can only hope and pray that this Spawn is the same. And Todd McFarlane is attached to it. So, I mean, that's got to be something. That's got to be worth something if the creator of the comic is helping with the movie. Because hopefully he wouldn't let something go down. Because it's like J.K. Rowling. You know, J.K. Rowling ain't going to let anyone change Harry Potter unless she gives it the go-ahead. So everyone can hate her as much as she wants, as much as they want. Because if it wasn't for her, Harry Potter wouldn't exist. So, you know, I hope Todd McFarlane really just takes to care with this. Because if he doesn't, I mean, it would just be ridiculous, you know, because then it would become what the CW has done with Batwoman. I mean, again, Batwoman is just horrible. I'm not going to talk about it, but it's just like, you know, in respects to MLK Jr., you know, I got to discuss the blackness. And this is the blackness that should never have happened, okay? Batwoman, Batgirl, they're redheads, all right? Why are you going to switch it up and make them black chicks? That's ridiculous. The new image for the Batgirl movie came out with Leslie Grace, and it's like, oh, okay. So for Batwoman, we switched out Ruby Rose for Javicia Leslie, and now we're gonna get a girl named Leslie Grace for Batgirl. And plot twist, I mean, they're both like black. It's just like, what? And like Leslie Grace is a singer. It's like, what the hell? Like, really? I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's like making Zendaya Batgirl. It's like, well, I mean, I guess, but why? Like, no. I mean, we already made her Mary Jane. Might as well have made her Batgirl. It could have worked. You know, but I hope that I hope that it's good. I don't think it will be, but I'm just going to say that I hope it's good because there's a black girl in it, but it's probably not going to be because there shouldn't be a black girl in it. So sorry, MLK, but this one I got to kind of stomp on because it's like, nope, this shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. But again, I'll just wait and see. It's going to be a while till it comes out. I know that Supergirl is in Flashpoint. She looks ridiculous. So I just don't see this coming out any better. And then especially if they share the screen together. Oh, gosh, forget it. That'd be dumpster fire waiting to happen. But yeah. And then, so to close it out, I'm going to bring in one of the other brothers who's not really necessarily a brother. But you know what? He gets a pass. He is definitely a brother. And that is my boy, John Krasinski. Hopefully taking on the mantle of Mr. Fantastic. That would be awesome. Everyone wants him to do it. It's not like he will, but I really hope he does. You know, there's all this speculation that everyone wants him to be Mr. Fantastic and like Emily Blunt to be Sue Storm, and I think that would be fantastic. I had heard that they were supposed to make the Fantastic Four all black, and they were actually supposed to make the entire team black now. So it's like, you know what? You already made Johnny Storm black in the remake, and that was like not that great. And you know, the original one, they were all white, so it's like, just why would you change that? You know, it doesn't make any sense to pander like you know, Fantastic Four, keep it like the comics. And as far as I'm concerned, there's no black members in the Fantastic Four. Sorry, not sorry, because I didn't write the comics, but I do enjoy the comics. I really like the comics. But you know, I was definitely a fan of the original Fantastic Four. I didn't really like Silver Surfer, but I mean, they were good movies. And then, you know, the remake was definitely whack. I mean, Doctor Doom alone was just dumb. But it's, you know, and to be fair, like Doctor Doom's costume totally reminds me of the Riddler from the new Batman. Like how that's like they modeled it after it. So it's like, it's a little much. I don't know if I'm gonna like that. And the Riddler is one of my favorite freaking characters, and for them to do him like this is just like, man, it's not that hard to just put a question mark on somebody and put them in a nice crazy suit or a leotard shit for that matter. But whatever, I digress. But yeah, so I hope that, you know, the Fantastic Four comes out good, because I know a lot of people are going to be excited for that and wait. And you know, when the first teaser drops or whatever starts rolling out, I mean, it's the people aren't going to let up if it's not looking good and if they don't like who's cast, because the 2015 one, the reboot, was horrible, and that one got a lot of shit, and it definitely didn't get a sequel. And the original two, you know, fuck, they never got a third. So Rise of Silver Surfer kind of knocked that idea out. But again, I'm excited just to see what happens because I hope that it just is good. I hope Marvel learns from No Way Home and they just say, you know what, we got to follow the comics. We have to just cast accordingly and just pander to the fans, not everybody else and whoever's woke and listening to the message. But I just hope that it just gets better. I doubt it, but hey, we can all dream. So, like MLK said, I have a dream, and that is for, just DC and Marvel to just make good movies. And they don't have to be TV shows. They just, I just want better films. So, you know what to do, Disney, Marvel, DCEU, whoever puts on anything from DC. Y'all got to just work together and, well, not work together, work with the fans, right? Work together with the fans and just get your shit straight. Because if not, there ain't going to be no one in the theater this coming year.
I was born ready, motherfucker.